Right. Hello and welcome to the first ever episode of the FPL Chiropractors. We're here to break the spine of your team, and I'm joined with Noppy, aka Nils, aka Zarski. You might hear me call him all sorts of different names. I'm Kyle. We or Kaiser99. We are streamers on Twitch, but we love FPL. So, and we're just here to bring a little pod, aren't we, Noppy? Because we are quite passionate about FPL. We're not like crazy competitors, but I think we've got good enough knowledge. I think.
Well, we both watch a lot of Premier League, and
Yeah,
I
for
feel
sure.
like we got some good knowledge. Like, I feel like when I talk to you, you know a lot of things.
Yeah.
You know a lot about like Championship and stuff like that.
Yeah, for sure. And I think that's something we should get out there, okay? I'm a Sheffield United fan. I have no bias towards any team, okay? So my knowledge is probably the best. Isn't that right, Nopra?
Yeah, I might have some bias, although I don't have any Chelsea players in my team.
So yes, if you heard it right, Nopra is a Chelsea fan, but do you have Cole Palmer in your team?
I don't. Well, actually, you're gonna see later on.
Okay.
I have some
Okay.
plans, but at the moment, I don't have any.
Okay. So obviously, this has been the first podcast ever that me and Nopper are doing FPL podcasts. We are the Chiropractors, and we're probably just going to run through our teams and just show you where we're up to because we are currently on. Is this game week 9? Game week 9 now, isn't it? If this going on to game week 9?
Yeah. The upcoming week is game week 9.
Yeah. So we'll start with the keeper. The keeper's kind of irrelevant. I mean, I'm probably going to stick with Verbruggen. Because I believe they've got, who have they got next? They've got Wolves next. So I mean, I think that's a safe pick to go through. Plus, I've only got one transfer.
What do you think about your keeper? Like, you got 10 points last week from Verbruggen, so that was massive for you.
Yeah.
But are you interested in any other keepers or
no? Well, not this moment in time. But because other points work this year with the shot saved and stuff like that, it's not been terrible. Even when Verbruggen lost, conceded, was it 5 goals? Was it Chelsea or 4-2? Was it something like that? Yeah, Verbruggen still pulled up like 2 points, which I was like, what? That's still not terrible. You know, I mean, it's not great, but it's still not like to concede 4 goals and still have like 2 points. I think that's not too bad. But as you guys can see on my screen right now, I have Anderson, okay, which is just shocking. Okay, he got a red card for me. I had a terrible points last week. I went captain Haaland as well, which was not great. Who did you captain last week, Noppy?
Haaland too. Yeah.
Oh, you went Haaland as well.
I feel like everyone went Haaland, and it all went wrong.
Yeah,
like we just all expected Wolves to be, well, very bad defensively, but Man City was struggling for like a lot of the game to break through. And
big time.
Yeah.
I also had Veltman on the bench as well. So big L for me there. I had Veltman on the bench, and also I had Bukayo Saka as well, which in turn actually it didn't work out too badly because I had Morgan Rogers on the bench as my first replacement. So it worked out quite well for me. So, and he was pretty much most of my points. And my transfer of the week was who did I take out? I took out what's he called? Wheatley from Man United. For Iliman died. He bagged me 9 points, my highest point. Well, besides Verbruggen. That's a crazy transfer.
Unbelievable. I have Calvert-Lewin in my team, and he put up like 1.3 XG in that game, and he didn't score. And Jai scores for nothing. It's unbelible.
It was great. So, Nopra, let's have a look at your team real quick. So I'm going to scroll up and have a look at your team. So me and Nopra are in a league. Yeah. I think we are going to get a new league set up. Do you think that's right, Nopra? We probably are going to do that.
Yeah, we will make a new league for the podcast. Yeah,
for sure. But this is Nopra's team as it stands that I can see. So he's got David Raya in net, which I think is quite safe. Well, with the fixture turn at the minute, I'm not too sure.
I gotta agree with you there. They have 3 difficult fixtures coming up. Yeah, but after that. They have some really good fixtures, and I'm just gonna stick because Arsenal defense is really good. They haven't been good recently, but at least I don't have 2 defenders like a lot of other people have. So I'm kind of happy with that.
Yeah. You've got Trent, which I think is quite a safe pick, really. I'm not too sure what Liverpool's fixtures are like. Actually, let's have a look at that real quick.
They're not the best.
Yeah, they're not the best. They're a bit up and down, aren't they? They're like
They have Arsenal away, then Brighton, Aston Villa, Southampton, City, Newcastle. So it's a bit of a mixed bag, but I don't know.
Yeah. Yeah. Milinkovic, I know you've got a lot of time for Milinkovic, or Nottingham Forest in general, which, you know what, I think you're actually right. I feel like, I've heard a lot of people say this, especially on Twitter as well, I think Nottingham Forest are really like the new Wolves. Would you agree? Like how Wolves used to be, especially under Nuno as well. It's very, I'm seeing like it's like a different universe, almost.
But you know how much I've hyped up Forest, and well, it just seems like they I don't know, they're such a unit defensively. They are not conceding a lot of goals, and you got Chris Wood firing goals. He scored, what is it, 5 goals or something?
Yeah, I think the last 10. I think the last 10 goals that Nottingham Forest have scored, I think he scored 7 of those goals.
Yeah,
so that's quite big.
And I saw some crazy stats that since Nuno came in, he scored the 3rd most goals in the Premier League after Haaland and Palmer. So
wow,
well, yeah,
Jesus, I didn't even know that. God, Chris Woodwatch. Holy, all right, okay, okay.
And he's really cheap too, like 6.3 million or something.
Oh, really? Right, still not cheap.
So
wow.
Well,
and then someone else I've seen in your team as well is Pedro Porro. So I'm a bit weird with Spurs players, but I am going to contradict myself later down the line, and we'll speak about that later. But I feel like Spurs players defensively are just, I don't know, they're just so attacking minded. I feel in a way.
I agree with you. Like they always seem to concede a goal. I think they've kept 1 clean sheet this season, and that was against United.
Yeah,
and they haven't been the best offensively, but yeah, so they always seem to concede. But Porro, what I like about him is that like their numbers aren't bad defensively, and also he can sometimes be on set pieces. He has a lot of attacking threats, and I don't know. They have decent fixtures, so I'm happy about him.
Yeah,
to be honest.
Yeah, I mean, I did have him early on, but I did get rid of him because I don't know. There was just something about the Spurs defense. His attacking returns, he does seem to always have at least a few shots on goal a game, which is quite interesting, and they're always long range efforts. So there is that return with him there. And then looking at your midfield as well, Noppy, we've got Semenyo, who I'm actually a massive fan of. I really thought Bournemouth last year was the Solanke show. But I think it's really the Semenyo show now. I think
100%.
I honestly think he's going to end up at a top. Well, what do you call it? Top 8, top 6? I don't know. Bournemouth could be in the top 8. You know what I mean? But I really think that he could end up going somewhere in a few years potentially if he keeps up, because I think he's quite a solid player.
So he was my auto sub for Saka because I thought Saka would be fine.
Yeah, so did I.
But when Arsenal got that red card and I knew that Semenyo was coming in for Saka, I was like, okay, maybe I can get something out of this game. And he did have a really big chance, but he missed it. So a little bit unfortunate on that one, but
well, at least he still got 2 points, and I say at least, which this week for FPL game week 8 was honestly terrible. I don't think there's anyone that did well. I don't think anyone did well. Obviously Morgan Rogers, probably the best points to price value player. I think he started off quite badly, but I think he's in a good form right now. Even when he was just getting 2 points a game, he was still in good form, I felt. But now he's really proven that he's worth the price tag, definitely.
I think I picked him up in game week 2 or something for 5 million, and I've kept him ever since because he just keeps getting 90 minutes pretty much every game, and he's starting to score goals. He's looking very involved, and Aston Villa are flying at the moment. They've won every game in the Champions League they've played. They're top of I think they're top of the league table.
Are they?
Yeah. So they've been really impressive, and in the league too. I think they're 4th place right now, and they're looking really good. And I'm expecting big things from them in game week 9 against Bournemouth at home. Do you think
they'll slow down at any point or not? I know it's still quite early-ish, but when winter comes, December, January,
well, it's going to be difficult to keep up with this fixture schedule with Champions League and all the different competitions, but they have depth in pretty much every position. I feel like they even have Duran coming off the bench. He's been really impressive. They have Matsen, who's barely played any minutes, which I've been kind of surprised about.
Yeah, I have as well, because they bought him in. How much did they buy him in for? Was it
40 million?
I think so. I think it was 40 million. I'm really surprised, because I thought he was obviously last season Champions League finalist, starting left back, I believe, for Dortmund. Obviously, he was Chelsea's player. Aston Villa bought him. I'm just surprised that they still stick with Luca Digne. Is that still sticking with right now at left back?
Yeah,
it's interesting that.
I feel like Digne has been very overlooked. He has been really impressive, and he's still cheap as well. But I'm always worried that he will get rotated. But I don't know why, because he keeps starting every game. He keeps putting up good numbers.
Yeah.
And yeah, I don't know.
I think at some point, though, I generally feel at some point that we will see Maatsen come into the fold, and he'll be like one of the best left backs, if not the best left back in the league, possibly. Because at the minute, I don't really think I can't really think of anyone on top of my head that's like one of the like a really good left back right now. Can you think of anyone? Who's the best left back in the league? No, do not say Cucurella. Oh, okay, Jesus. We're not saying Cucurella. Jesus.
I'm just messing. Wait, okay, left backs. I feel like
it can't be Robertson. It cannot be Robertson. Come on, if he's the best left back, don't get me wrong. A few seasons ago, Robertson was the best left back. He was phenomenal. Yeah, probably 3-4 seasons ago. But now I can't really think of anyone at all. I honestly, any of you guys in the comments, maybe me and Noppy are just brain dead right now and can't think, but I cannot think of any left back right now that's firing. Obviously, Udogie last season, I thought he was really good, but I don't think he's been the same this season so far. I can't really think of anyone left back wise.
Honestly, Didier's probably been the best left back in the league this season. Honestly, like I can't really think of anyone else.
No, neither can I. Unless we're missing someone. So if you guys want to put in the comments if we're missing someone, I don't know.
Yeah.
And then obviously you've got Mbeumo, the main man at Brentford. I think he's sort of a must now for FPL.
You gotta have Mbeumo.
Yeah.
He gets 90. He has penalties. He got free kicks, corners.
That's it.
And Visa is coming back now.
And, is he?
They're gonna be
Oh wow.
So he's gonna be back for Ipswich. So they're gonna be firing again.
Oh wow. Okay.
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 Yeah, I feel like you kind of have to have Mbeumo now.
And then you've got the front line. You've still got Watkins. That is interesting. That is really. Let me look at their fixtures real quick. Okay, so the fixtures. No, so I had him for Ipswich and then I got rid of him after game week 6, I believe. Wow. The fixture swing's kind of weird. But
I just think he's been performing really good, and at the moment, like I know a lot of people are not gonna agree with me, but I prefer Watkins to like Saka because you get Watkins for a cheaper price.
Yeah,
and he also takes up a forward spot, which maybe isn't a good thing, but there's so many good midfielders. I feel like.
Oh yeah,
and. I don't know. I really rate Watkins. He was among the top scorers last season, and it seems like he is still keeping it up with Villa. He had a bit of a slow start, but he's finally getting into the rhythm. He's scored like 5 goals too, and gotten 2 assists, and he's been looking really good.
Yeah, no, like looking at the fixtures now, they've got Bournemouth this game week coming up, and then Spurs away. Spurs away is hard, but with Spurs' clean sheet record, you'd think they'd get a goal there, and that probably would be through Watkins. So I mean, it's only really Liverpool away that you're really thinking, oh, that's where they might struggle. And then obviously after that, you've got Palace, and then that goes into December. So I mean, for you, I don't know. Are you probably thinking about keeping Watkins all the way through to December, or would you maybe change after Spurs away? Or
I'm looking at the fixtures right now, and I'm probably gonna be keeping Watkins up until like game week 16, because like after that Liverpool game, they have some interesting fixtures. They have Palace at home, Chelsea away, which isn't the best fixture, but it's not the worst either, because Chelsea aren't the best defensively.
Very similar to Spurs in a way, but I feel like you're having more success because I feel like Chelsea have the firepower. I'm not saying Spurs don't, but I just feel like Chelsea got Palmer, Jackson, Madueke, Christopher Nkunku, Jadon Sancho, Pedro Neto. The list goes on and on and on. Whereas Spurs, You've got Maddison, who's out of form, in my opinion. He's not been great since back end of last season, which I think he had like maybe 2 or 3 good games. The start of the season was phenomenal. I thought, oh my god, Spurs are back. You know, they've got a playmaker. They've got like how Eriksen was when he first signed for them. But Spurs are just an interesting one. They're so up and down. It's so weird. It's just so strange, you know. But obviously the last couple of games though, very Spursy. Yeah. Well, the last couple of games though, this sounds weird that I'm saying that, but the last couple of games have been great. Okay, but if they keep up the next 2 or 3 games, I'll probably think, oh, Spurs are back. You know. But if they fall off again the next 2 games, I'm gonna be a bit, you know, thinking what you're thinking, very Spursy. So it is interesting. Obviously, moving over to Calvert-Lewin. Now that is an interesting one because me and you, Noppra, okay, and you guys that don't know, me and Noppra speak about Everton. We have spoke about Everton quite a lot, okay, here and there because Everton are just such an interesting team. Okay, they score a lot of goals. Well, not really. They score goals.
They do,
but they concede a lot though. And in crucial moments as well. So I don't know if that's a defensive issue, but the amount of times me and Noppra have spoken about McNeil and stuff like that, and we just never brought him in, especially when he got that, was it that 12-point weekend or whatever it was? I think he was like the highest point in midfielder or whatever that weekend. It was crazy. But
I was talking about him for weeks.
Oh yeah,
and, he's just been getting the points all over. He scored 2 goals in that game, and then last week he got an assist, and he got the clean sheet point as well. So yeah, he's been looking really good as well, and they have some nice fixtures still coming up.
I really like Everton's fixtures. I mean, a lot of people thought they were going to get relegated, or still think they're going to get relegated. I don't see it personally. I think the fixtures, they started off with some really hard fixtures. Looking back now, if we bring up the fixtures real quick here, I think they did have some tough ones.
I feel like they really missed Branthwaite because they've been conceding goals for fun, and he was very key for them last season. Defensively, and they've just looked shaky when he's not been in the team. Last couple of games they have started getting some clean sheets. One of them Branthwaite played, and the other one he didn't. But the last game against Ipswich, I'm pretty sure they had some pretty bad numbers against Ipswich. Actually, not too bad. But they were quite fortunate to get a clean sheet against Newcastle, though. But
yeah. And looking at the fixtures now, Noppra, they've got in the next 5 games. This is quite vital for them, really, because after that they've got Liverpool, Arsenal, Chelsea, City, back to back. So these next 5 games are vital for them, especially Fulham at home. You'd like to think you get a point at least, or even maybe a win. Southampton away. I think they're the new whipping boys, so I think they should win that. West Ham away, tough game. If you get a point, that'd be great. Brentford at home, you'd expect. It's one of them. That's tough. Man United away, you never know. On your day, you never know. Man United are just a weird team. And then Wolves at home, you'd expect to get the win there. And then obviously after that, they've got Liverpool, Arsenal, Chelsea, City, which is rough. That is rough.
Very rough.
And then after that, it doesn't stop. They've got Nottingham Forest at home, Bournemouth away, Aston Villa at home, and then Spurs at home, and that takes them into nearly February. So they've got it
way off.
It's really rough. But football is football, and it doesn't always work out like that. Like I think Everton could really get like, I don't know, maybe 4 points from the next 5, and then they could beat Liverpool, draw against Arsenal, lose to Chelsea, and then draw City. You know what I mean? That's just football. So you never know. But I think it's very unlikely, very, very unlikely. But these next 5 games for Everton are crucial. And I think they'll do it. I think they'll get the points. So that's why obviously you've gone for Calvert-Lewin, and that's why I went for Ndiaye. So the reason I went for Ndiaye is because I'm a massive Iliman Ndiaye fan. Obviously, he's a play for Sheffield United, which is my team. And luckily last week I brought him in, and he paid up big. And then the last player, well, not the last player in your team, but the last player in your starting 11, you got Erling Haaland there. I mean, I think he's just a given. I mean, the last 2 game weeks, I don't think he scored us in the last 2 game weeks.
He hasn't scored in 3 game weeks, actually.
3? So, wow.
So he's been very disappointing. I'm really disappointed. I'm still going to captain him against Southampton at home.
Yeah, same here.
Like, it has to. Yeah. This is his last chance for me to prove himself, because I'm getting sick and tired of him. Like he can't keep blanking like this. There's no way I'm paying 15.4 million for someone like
It's
that.
as soon as I brought him in, he's literally. I think he scored maybe a goal. So he's not really paid up for me. I traded him for Salah, like most people do. So it's been pretty bad for me as well. So I think Southampton at home, if he doesn't get at least a brace, honestly, at least a brace, there's gonna be problems. And then look at your bench, Nopra. That is wow.
That is rough.
Wow. Yeah. You guys have seen this. He's got Fabianski, which I don't think he plays. I have him also, but he's just to fill up the bench. He's got Saka, who I don't think is. I don't think he's fit. I think Arteta said he's not even trained yet. You got Greaves, and then you got Mosquera, which is So I think How many transfers have you got?
I got 5 transfers.
Oh, you got 5 transfers! Yeah. Wow.
And I've actually already made 2.
Okay.
I can talk about that maybe.
Okay.
Also, I'm just gonna ask, why do we talk so much about my team and?
Oh, you want to talk about my team? Okay. Let's move into the main team. Let's look at my team. So here is my team. As you can see, Verbruggen in net, solid. I'm not too keen on the fixtures coming up. The fixtures for Brian are not nice at all. Obviously, we've got Wolves at home, so I'm going to keep him there. And then we've got Liverpool away and then Man City at home. And then, to be honest, the fixtures after that, I'm not too bothered about. But I think what I'll have to look at in the future, Nopra, or in the next couple of game weeks, or not this game week, because I have to make a transfer this game week, and I think I've got a more vital, or a bigger, I think someone who's going to get more points. I think Verbruggen against Wolves will be fine. But then I think I'll probably be looking to get a cheaper keeper, maybe changing over Fabianski for someone that actually starts, maybe a 4.5 or maybe a 5 mil, because I think I've got the funds to do that, which we'll check later on. But I think Verbruggen against Wolves, I think that's fine.
So what's the transfer you're looking at making this week? Or are you making any transfers?
Yeah, I think I am. Yeah, I think I am. So this week I'm probably going to get rid of Bukayo Saka. And I'm going to bring in, even though I've slated them a little bit, I'm going to bring in Heung-min Son.
What?
Ignore the first part, all right? Heung-min Son.
I didn't know what you were trying to say there, but
I tried to say Son. I tried to be cool and say his first name, but it just failed. So I'm going to bring in Son. And the reason,
Heung-min.
He looked really sharp in the last game, and I just think he's cheaper than Saka. And if we look at him here, where is Spurs? Here we go.
They got some good fixtures.
Yeah, that's what I mean. I kind of like the fixtures as well.
And he should be on pens.
Where the hell is Son? Oh, he's there.
Yeah.
So I'm probably thinking about going for that because they got Palace away. Let me get you up. There you go. We've got Palace away. Oh, why is it getting rid of you there? Hold on. Right, we got Palace away, and then they got Villa at home, and then they got Ipswich, which is a big fixture. And then Man City away, which seems scary. But notoriously, Spurs actually don't do too badly against Man City.
And especially Son. He usually goes big against City.
Yeah. So I do like the fixtures, I'll be honest. I don't think too bad. And then Son, I really think this is the turn of his purple patch. I think he's going to get some good points in the next couple of games for sure. Obviously, I mean, it's. I don't think it's an amazing transfer. It's not like I don't think it's like a must transfer. But I think being a lot cheaper than Saka, I think it's one of them where I think he'll get points against Palace, maybe against Villa. But I think Ipswich, we could be looking at I really want Ipswich to do well, but we could be looking at a hat trick. Heung-min Son there potentially. I think.
Yeah, I was gonna ask. Do you think Son is the best captain in that week against Ipswich? Because I'm really considering captaining Son in that week.
I don't know. It depends who's Haaland's got. Who's Haaland got game week? Well, it depends even if I still have Haaland then. Who have they got game week 11? Game week 11.
Brighton away.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. I'll probably captain Son. Probably. I'll be honest. Unless he gets injured or anything like that, I probably will captain Son. I think that's honestly safer because Brighton are very hit and miss, but I don't know. I think Man City away, they just don't seem to be as good, even though they're still winning games. They don't seem to be good as away as they are at home, like most teams. But
like most teams.
Yeah, but I just think, Son at home against Ipswich. That game, how Ipswich are going right now. Ipswich, if they are going to stay up, I think they're going to get most of their points at home. If they are going to stay up, but I don't see them beating any team in the top 4 or top 6, like Spurs, like Chelsea, Liverpool at all away. So I think captaining Son at the top of Hotspur Stadium's an easy captain for sure.
I really want Ipswich to do well, but now they're looking like they're just conceding goals for fun.
Yeah.
So if you have a player at home against Ipswich, I feel like they're a really good captain option. So definitely. Yeah. I'm looking in that too.
Yeah, so, and I think I'm honestly going to make this transfer. I don't know. Usually, we are recording this on the 24th, which is the Thursday, and usually I wait to make my transfer on the Friday, which I think I'm still going to do. But at this minute in time, it's looking like Son is the guy. So I think he's probably going to be my go-to for sure. Yeah. And I think it's a smart pick. I can't think of anyone else. Can you think of anyone else in the midfield spot?
You already got Palmer. So you obviously can't bring him in. So Son feels like the natural pick. Have you considered Foden or no?
No, not at all. Just because of the Pep roulette, really. I mean, yes, he might play, but you never know. You never know what he's thinking. He might be thinking. I think Haaland starts for sure, but because he haven't got any other striker. But I'm thinking. Oh, Southampton. Maybe he'll think, oh, let's not play Foden. Let's just go Gundogan, Kovacic, and whoever else. Bernardo Silva. You know, it's one of them. You don't know. And on top of that, the reason I'm getting rid of Saka, obviously, yes, he's injured, but even I feel like even if Saka was fit, I feel like I'd probably be looking at getting rid of Saka anyway, because I feel like Saka doesn't. Yeah, from what I know, I might be completely wrong here, but from what I pretty much think I've seen on Twitter and other areas and other sources, is that Saka doesn't really perform against the big teams, and they've got obviously Liverpool and whatnot, etc. And I think Havertz is underlooked massively as well. I like Kai Havertz quite a lot. He does score a lot in the big moments, which I think that's what football's about, is the big moments. Which people might be thinking, what big moments? Champions League final. You know, he always scores in moments that mean something. Well, it's like it's not that he doesn't feel pressure. I don't know him personally, but I think I don't know. I think if anyone's going to get any goals for Arsenal in the next couple of games, it'd be Havertz.
Yeah. Well, obviously I'm a Chelsea fan, so I don't rate Havertz like a lot from his time at Chelsea. But to be fair, he has been really good at Arsenal since he's come in.
Well,
and he's been playing in the striker position. So totally.
Yeah, he's definitely on I think he's on a little bit of a dip right now. I think Arsenal in general are really like, how many? Is it like three? Is it 3 red cards this season already?
Three red cards, right?
Crazy. 2 for kicking the ball away, and then 1 was for a goal scoring opportunity with Saliba, which I don't know how much it's going to affect them, because I heard that Calafori's out as well. Calafori's out. Saliba's out. So that leaves them with Timber, Ben White. Who else? Kiwior.
Is the Timber?
Tyrion Timber. I think he's available. I think they'll still be okay though. I still think they'll be okay.
They'll set up with like 4 center backs. They'll be fine.
Yeah. I think they'll be. I think they'll be okay. I mean, it is Liverpool at home.
Yeah. It's gonna be a tough game.
Yeah, I think if I was an Arsenal fan, I'd take a draw. I really would.
Like if you miss out Saliba, Saka, and Odegaard, like that's gonna be really tough to beat Liverpool.
For sure.
Yeah.
And then sorry, we just went on a tangent then, but Verbruggen, good keeper. Obviously, I've got Virgil van Dijk, which, to be honest, I don't know what my thought process is here. I've not been very good with my defensive picks in this. I mean, at the start of the season, I thought my defensive picks were quite good, but I think as time's gone, it's not been great. But as soon as I brought Virgil van Dijk in, I think at the time, Liverpool, went like 4 or 5 games without conceding a goal or something like that.
Yeah.
Or there was like 5 and then I brought Van Dijk in, and then I think they conceded against, was it Bournemouth, something like that? I can't remember. Anyway. They conceded as soon as I brought them in, so I don't know. I feel like Liverpool are still going to be decently. They've got some tricky-ish fixtures coming up. They've got Oh God, they've got Arsenal, Brighton at home, Villa, Southampton, City, Newcastle. I mean, Virgil might be one I'm looking at changing in the future, but I think I've got bigger fish to fry in other areas. Obviously, like Saka that's injured, and I've only got one transfer. Let me add that as well. I've only got one transfer, so I think Saka's the reason I'm getting rid of Saka for Son.
The thing is with defenders, like there's not a lot of defenders to like. I feel like there's not a lot of clean sheets, so you're really only looking for like players that have good attacking potential.
Yeah.
So I don't know. And there's not a lot of players I like for defenders.
And I really think in my head as well. I think that Virgil van Dijk is due a header. He's due a headed goal very soon. I don't know why. In my head, I just think so, and it could be against Arsenal because them sort of games where the two or the top teams play, it's always like a centre back that scores. You know what I mean? Like when they need a goal, like it's to make it 1-0 in like the 90th minute, like John Stones against Wolves. You know, I know that's a different sort of caliber of team, but I think in these big games, Arsenal away, you'd need like a Virgil van Dijk to put a header away, 1-0 away. Job's done, 3 points, you know, sort of thing. So I don't know. I think that's my thought process behind that. And I think I can't really get rid of him. He's solid. He's going to play 90 minutes. Possible clean sheets if Liverpool turn up and play really well, which they do most weeks. I'll probably keep him up until, well, for a while probably, unless he gets injured. Obviously, I've got Konsa, which I think he didn't play, but I believe he's fit now. He didn't play last week, but I believe he's fit now.
Yeah. I'm pretty sure he played in the Champions League, didn't he?
Yo, did he? Oh, did he play in the Champions League?
I'm pretty sure, yeah.
Okay. Well, I don't know if that bodes well for me then. But I'm probably going to keep Konsa. I'd be tempted to put Veltman on. But I don't know. I like having balance in the team. I don't know because I've got Verbruggen in net. I might keep it as it is, the back three, and they've also got Wout Faes against Nottingham Forest, which to be fair is not a great fixture, but Leicester at home. I mean, same again. If we're looking at like the Ipswiches and the teams near the bottom of the table, if they're gonna get any points, you'd be looking at like Nottingham Forest at home, wouldn't you? And looking at maybe getting points there or even a point for sure.
Yeah.
So.
It's not the worst, but you just know Chris Wood is going to be dangerous.
Well, so. Yeah. So I don't really know. My defenders is definitely something I need to look better at. Like I could manage my spends better and maybe put Virgil down to a 5.5 or even a 5 mil, and then spread it across evenly. But I don't know. Yeah. Defenders-wise, there's nothing crazy. And obviously, my midfield, we did speak about Saka. Obviously, I'm probably looking at getting rid of Saka for Son. Smith Rowe, massive Smith Rowe fan. He's been great for me for the price point. I think how much was he at the start of the game? Like 5.5 was he? Or was he 5? Was he? And how much is he now? 5. He's 5.7. So yeah. So he's doing well, and I like their fixtures as well. They've got some nice fixtures coming up. They've got Everton away, Brentford at home, Palace away, Wolves at home. So they're sort of fixtures that could go either way. So and if they score, I expect Smith Rowe to be a part of it. And I'd expect at least maybe a goal every other game, which I'd be happy for a 5.7 or a 5.5 at eyeball at the time. I'd be happy with that, and I can't really. Be mad with that, and I do like Smith Rowe as well. I'm a big Smith Rowe fan. And then looking at the rest of the team,
I gotta agree that he started off the season good, but I don't know. I've not been impressed the last couple of games.
No, not really. He has kind of looking at his points. He has kind of blanked a little bit, hasn't he? He got 3 against Forest. It's Newcastle really last did anything. Yeah. But we'll see. We'll see. I mean, they played Forest, who defensively really good side. They played City. That's obviously Man City, and they played Villa. You know, so
tough games.
So he's done okay against obviously the Leicester, the Ipswich, the West Ham, and Newcastle. Which there's a lot of teams like that in the league, or lesser than them. So I think for the price point, I think he's a pretty solid. I like how the fixtures are turning now. I think it's
that's very true.
Yeah, so I think Smith Rowe's still a really good pick. So anybody that's got Smith Rowe, stick with him, trust him.
He's an easy hold, yeah.
Oh yeah, for sure. And also got Mbeumo. I don't think if anybody has transferred out Mbeumo for this week, what are you doing? Seriously, they've got Ipswich at home. Like, no disrespect, but Mbeumo, I don't think anybody would be crazy. I think people would be crazy enough to captain him. But I think if you've got him in your team, or haven't got him in your team already, get him in your team. He's just great. I just think he's great. I've got nothing bad to say about Mbeumo. I could see him going to a big team, possibly, in the future. I don't know if it'd be in England, though. I don't know. I could see him maybe getting persuaded by maybe the French league or something. I don't know why. I just think he could go into like the Marseille or something sort of setup. I don't know. I don't know why I see that, but I do. I don't know. Maybe my vision's wrong. But anyway, he's a
see him at Marseille too.
Yeah, I don't know why. I don't know why. I just see him going there because one, the league's. I'm not going to say it's easier. I'm not going to say it's Farmers League, but it's an easier league. Yeah. Two, you get potential of Champions League or European football, and I don't know. I just see that.
Is Serbia there as well?
Yeah. So it's possible, and he is a good player. I'd be very surprised if he keeps going how he is. I'd be very surprised if he's a Brentford player in the next maybe season or so, because he's quite consistent and he's good. And obviously, I've got your man, Mr. Cold Palmer, which I'm surprised you haven't got him, man. I just think this guy just does not care. He does not care. He just scores against whoever he wants, gets assists whoever he wants. He's insane, and I feel like I'm probably unless he gets injured, I'm probably going to keep him for the rest of the game, unless I can't see him ever slowing down. Like, he has his off patches, but then he'll get like a 2-point game, and the next game he'll get like 22 points, or he'll get like 15 points. It's like, what's going on? He's honestly insane.
In any game,
He just does not care. He's insane. So I think anybody, if you haven't got Palmer, get Palmer. I think I don't think he's got more points than Salah or Haaland. He must be third at least, surely.
Salah is the top scorer, and then Haaland and Palmer on the same amount.
Oh, really?
Oh, okay.
Salah. Yeah. Right. Okay. Yeah. And I don't know what their fixtures are like. Let's have a look at their fixtures real quick. Chelsea's fixtures. I'm sure you probably already know them already, Noppy. But looking at the fixtures, they don't look great, do they? They don't look fantastic. Like Newcastle at home. I think Newcastle are pretty bad away. I think. I just think Newcastle I don't know where their momentum's dropped off. I don't know if it's the fact that obviously that their owners have, well, not their owners, but part of that consortium have left, haven't they? And I think that scuppered them bringing in some new transfers because their squad hasn't changed really at all from the season before or the end of January last year. So it's a bit stale there, and I don't know. I think that might have an effect on them. I think they're good at home. I don't think you can really go against them at home. Obviously, they did just lose to Brighton, but that being said, I think at home they are still a pretty good team. So that's just because Brighton are pretty good as well.
Brighton's still a good team, yeah.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah. But I think looking at these fixtures, like I say about Cole Palmer, I just think he doesn't care. He could just score against any of these teams. Newcastle at home, I don't think that's a hard fixture for Chelsea, especially how they attack. Man United away, again, no disrespect, but I don't even think that's a particularly hard fixture, especially how Man United have performed over the last couple of weeks. Yeah, they beat Brentford, didn't they? 2-1.
They did.
Yeah.
That was a good result for them. They did need that. And then obviously they got Arsenal at home, which again that could be tough. That could be the only game I think, or maybe not. But then at the same time, it is Cole Palmer, and I think he just wouldn't care. Then at game week 12, you have to get Palmer in. Run is insane.
Yeah. The run after that is crazy. Leicester, Villa, Southampton's. Spurs. Spurs again. Yeah, I think Spurs away is hard, but at the same time, I just think they just concede a lot, and then Spurs concede a lot, but Chelsea score a lot. So I think, I don't know. That's I don't think that's a 4. I'll be honest.
Anything can happen.
Yeah. And then after that run is just insane. You can have Palmer in your team all the way up until February. Well, you can have him in your team all the way up until probably end of Feb, March, easily. Well, probably the whole season. Let's be real, because I just think he's that. I think he's that guy. And then,
honestly, last season, Palmer scored a hat-trick against United at Old Trafford.
Yeah.
So who knows? He might do that again.
Yeah, and
he might not.
I really took a gamble on him because I thought maybe he's just a splash in the pan, sort of one season wonder, like a Dominic Solanke. Actually, no, Solanke's still got time. I'm not going to disrespect Solanke. He's still got time, but I just think he could be. I don't know, man. I don't know. Solanke's still got time. Anyway, speaking about Palmer, I just think he's kind of replicating it again. He's doing the same as last season, in my eyes so far. That is my midfield. Obviously, the front three that you can see, we've got Havertz. I think you guys know how I feel about Havertz. Havertz is just, I don't know. I feel like it is sort of silly to say he's a big game player, but he is. I feel like he is. If someone's going to score a goal, I think it's going to be him. And I do like him. Like, I'm not too sure. Let's look at Arsenal's fixtures again. Okay, they're not great. They're actually really bad.
They're not great.
But if they're going to be top 2, which in my eyes they're still going to be top 2, they should be winning maybe 2 of these 3 games, or you know what I mean? Which is Liverpool at home, which if they get a point, that'd be great. Newcastle away, that's tough, and then Chelsea away, that is tough. And then after that, they've got a nice run again. So I probably am going to see it out with Havertz and just keep him as my only Arsenal player for now. I'm glad I didn't go to an Arsenal defender, but I mean, I say that, but I do think they're the best defensive team. But at the same time, this next run, I think honestly, these next 3 games, this could be where they concede honestly, 1/5 of their goals all season.
Are you tempted in game week 12 to get an Arsenal defender or no?
Possibly. I don't know. I'd say so. I mean, I scroll down and look at the fixtures, Noppy, and like at the end of the season, they've got a nice run. But again, Arsenal are notoriously really bad at the end of the season over the last 5 years, whatever. You know, they always bottle it because they are called the bottle jobs, which, again, any Arsenal fans, there's no disrespect. But the last, couple of seasons, you've had, easy fixtures and you've just drew away to, Southampton before they got relegated, a relegation side. It's just, I've got to keep that in mind. It's almost a part of you. I'm not saying you can't rectify it. You can. But I feel like if another team had better fixtures, I'd rather go for them than Arsenal's good fixtures. That makes sense. Just due to that being, I guess, part of their DNA over the last 5 years, which isn't harsh. I don't think that's harsh. I think that's fair to say, but yeah, I think that's the reason I wouldn't look at a defender. So to be fair, Noppy, to answer your question, yes, I probably would go for a defender after game week 12, because that's still midway through the season. But as the season gets closer and closer to the end, would I be more inclined to move to a City defender? Probably, which is crazy because Pep roulette, but. Again, City are crazy good at the end of the season. I think there's something crazy. There's a crazy stat out of there. Like the last 15 games, they always win all 15. You know what I mean, or something crazy like that. So it's just so you can't ignore that. So yeah, that's my stance on that. So yeah, Havertz, he'll probably be my only Arsenal player. In Die, obviously, I really like Everton's fixtures coming up. They've got some really key fixtures here. These fixtures could potentially make or break their season. Obviously, every game there's points to be had, but I think these next 6 games are going to be vital for them. And I think Iliman Ndiaye, McNeil, Calvert-Lewin, DCL will be big players for them. And then obviously Haaland against Southampton, which I think I have to captain him as well. And that's something with me, Noppy. I feel like if you're spending 15 million on a player in FPL or 14 or 30 million, you have to. It's too much to not captain him. You know what I mean? If you're not captaining Haaland, if you've got Haaland in your team and you're not captain, there's no point, I don't think.
Yeah, you have to captain Haaland if you have him in your team, or almost every week.
Yeah,
but have you considered triple captaining him or no?
I haven't yet. No, I always wait for double game weeks, but in the last 2 years, the double game weeks haven't been that favourable though. They haven't been that great, I must admit. Yeah. I think last year I did triple captain Haaland, I believe. And I think Alvarez played the second game or the first game, so it kind of backfired big time on me. But this year I'd probably be more inclined because there's no Alvarez. Obviously, I know they've got Oscar Bob, but I can't really see him getting minutes personally if there is a double game week for Man City, which there probably will be. But yeah, it does depend who that double game week is as well. So I don't know. I have still got my triple captain to play at some point, but I don't really know when to play it. Maybe Southampton. I don't know.
Southampton.
I mean, you never know. It's it's risky right now. But the only reason that I wouldn't be against triple captaining is that he did score last night. Haaland literally scored last night, which was a crazy goal. I don't know if you saw it. 2 goals. Yeah. So he got a brace last night. So it's not like he's not hungry. It's not like he can't do it. So I would be tempted to even triple captain for this game week. And I think if it sounds weird, but I always find it really weird when managers get sacked after losing to the best team in the world, not let alone the league. But I could see if Southampton lose badly, which I think they might. I think this game could be 5-6-0. personally, on paper. I could see Russell Martin being the first manager sacked.
I don't think he should get sacked after City, but I think he should get sacked very soon because he's just been experimenting with all these different players, and I don't know, nothing seems to be working.
He's gone in blind, hasn't he? Almost, I think it's interesting.
And they keep playing this like possession-based build-up play, and they are very sloppy. They make a lot of mistakes, and
for sure.
I don't know,
for sure. But I know it sounds crazy, but I feel like we see this all the time where a lower team plays like one of the big dogs, like a Man City, and then the manager gets sacked. It's like, why? You literally weren't going to win anyway. Well, you had a chance, but but then I get it. There's principles, like there's ways you lose and stuff like that and whatnot. But I could really see this game ending badly for Southampton. So that's why I've captained Haaland. Plus, you've just assured it for me more there. He got a brace last night. He's still hungry. I think Haaland will. I mean, I'm expecting a Haaland brace this weekend. If we don't, I'm going to be upset. I'll be honest. I'm going to be upset.
If you're expecting a brace, it's not worth triple captain.
Well, possibly. I'm flirting with that idea now. But I'm scared. I'm scared. I should have listened to everybody else at the start of the season. Game week, was it 2 or 3 against Ipswich? Yeah, but I was still too much in my Ipswich phase, though. I really believed Ipswich were going to get like 12. So I don't know. I mean, it's still possible. Happening. It's still possible. Let's never forget that. Let's not forget.
Maybe.
You just need to win all the home games. They might be fine. But yeah, and then obviously my bench, I got Fabianski, same as you. Like I said, I probably will be looking at getting rid of Fabianski at some stage. Actually, how much have I got in the bank? Let me look at my transfers real quick. I have got 0.6 in the bank. So if I get rid of Saka and get Son, I'll be saving 0.7. So that means I could then get another 4.5 keeper. So I could be looking like a Dean Henderson. Is Dean Henderson 4.5 still?
I think so, yeah.
Right.
So.
Okay. So looking ahead, I think my transfers probably are going to be Saka for Son, and then all being well, I'll probably be looking at getting rid of Fabianski and maybe getting another 4.5, and then that's if I don't get any other injuries. Obviously, Anderson's out; he'll be on the bench. I'm not too worried about that. Yeah, and I'm tempted to play Veltman against. I'm tempted to put Bruggen and Veltman against Wolves.
Oh.
Because I don't know. I know Forest are quite strong now, and as they're going on, I think Forest are a solid unit. So I don't know. It's tricky. It is tricky. I don't know what call to make there.
Yeah, that's a tough one.
Yeah, like most of the time, Nopra, I always have like I don't know. I think some people think I'm a bit backwards with it because I mean, a lot of people say, "Oh, never play teams against each other that you've got in your team." But then I like the idea of balance. You know what I mean? Because if you go heavy on one team and they lose, you lose point. You get less points. You know what I mean? So if I get balance in there, I can't really lose. Well, I'm gonna still lose possibly, but I'll lean one way more than just all the way down.
For example, if you play 2 Brighton defenders and they concede, like
exactly, and then
week ruined,
exactly, and then Leicester get a clean sheet against Forest, even if it's 0-0. And I've missed out on let's say Veltman even gets 1 point or 2%. I miss out on 5 points there. Which all right, 5 points, but at the same time, it's like, well, at the end of the season, that goes far, you know.
It does. It really does.
So I don't know. I like to keep balance. So I probably will stick with Wout Faes. Plus, he's not been too bad for me. I mean, he's been okay. I've had him since the start of the game, and he's done all right. So yeah, to round it up, Noppy. So you're definitely captaining Haaland this week.
Oh, 100%. It's not even a doubt in my mind. I don't think I'm triple captaining. I'm going to think about it a little bit more because I'm just thinking there's going to be probably just like 2 double game weeks or something. So there's not going to be a lot of double game weeks. And this might be the best opportunity in a single game week. But I'm also thinking like, they don't have De Bruyne. They don't have Rodri. Maybe I should just wait to triple captain Palmer against like Ipswich at home or something. I don't know. So but I'll think about it.
Oh, you've got 5 transfer, did you say?
Yeah.
So are you thinking of making any of these? I know we talked about it, but just to wrap it up or round it up, who you thinking?
Yeah, so I already made 2 transfers because there were some price changes yesterday.
Okay.
So I felt kind of forced to make some transfers. And obviously Saka, he's been flagged. And I don't think he's going to be playing. Well, who knows? But I think it's a good transfer anyways to get rid.
Yeah.
So I felt like I needed to get Palmer in.
Oh, okay. So you've gone for Coldy. Okay.
Yeah, I've gone for Cole Palmer, my boy.
Okay.
He's finally coming home. And for that, I need to free up some cash. And I was a little bit unsure what to do.
Yeah.
But the route I went with was I freed up like a lot of cash selling Trent to Ait-Nouri.
Oh, okay. Right, you got really budget in the back line then. Very budget.
Yeah, really budget. But I got some big plans for next week. That's why I made that transfer. Because I was looking at changing my structure like quite a lot. Because I thought, okay, I have 5 transfers. If Holland disappoints, even if he scores, I think I'm going to want to switch up my structure a little bit. Because I don't know. I think the next couple of weeks after the Southampton game for Holland, I'm going to want to captain a Salah, a Son in game week 11. Maybe even a Palmer. So I want to get rid of Holland down to Cunha and then move Bowen and Semenyo up to Son and Salah. So
Oh, okay. Wow.
Yeah,
okay.
so big moves.
Okay. So do you say Son then? Yeah. Son.
Yeah, Son.
Yeah. I think he's going to be. I think he's going to be quite big for Spurs in the next couple of games. And that I think that's the only transfer. With me only having one transfer available, I think that's the only transfer that makes sense to me, especially how he looked the last game. I think he looked great. So yeah, I think Saka to Son is quite smart.
I think so too.
And I think we've kind of wrapped everything in there. We've been talking for a while there. I think we've been going like good. Well, what was that, like an hour? We're in 45 minutes. I don't even know how long it's been.
Well, it's been quite a while.
Yeah. Damn.
It's been 50 minutes or something. Yeah.
Wow. So I should wrap it up.
Yeah. Thanks everyone for listening. I had fun talking. This was obviously the first time, so I was a bit nervous going into this, but it all went fine.
Oh, it's been great. Yeah. We've loved it. Yeah. So we do also stream on Twitch, so make sure to check out our Twitch channels. We are gamers, so check out the description, the link below. We will have a link to our FPL as well, our FPL accounts. We have an Instagram account, we've got a Twitter account, and we will be posting like our final teams as well on there. For any of you guys want to see what our locked in team is at the end. And yeah, have you got anything else to say, Noppy? Anything else to add, or are you any final thoughts?
Good luck this week.
Yeah.
Hopefully we all get green arrows. And
that's it.
Green arrows. Green arrows. I'll see you next week.
See you soon, guys. We've been the FPL Chiropractors, and we've just broken the spine of your team. Goodbye.
Goodbye.